Hello. Thank you for joining Everyday Life in Finance with Robbie. I'm Robbie, and today I want to talk to you about something a little different, looking at finance from a different perspective. I'd like to look at taking care of yourself from a financial perspective and with respect to family and friends. We all have those instances, or we all have gifts. And in many instances, you'll have family and friends that sometimes, they want to make use of our gifts um, for nothing, and it may be benefiting them, but it's taking away precious time from other things that we may need to do. So today I want to talk about taking care of yourself because family and friends, they can sometimes bombard you with requests for personal favors, for personal services that they would normally pay for, but they don't wish to pay you for those services. So they'll bombard you with those requests, and it's up to you to keep that under control and manage your time and your finances, because this is impacting your finances, whether you want to see it or not, or whether you see it or not, it impacts your finances. So if you don't take control of it, takers will continue to take with no regard. Some don't mean any harm. I'm not saying that you can't do any favors for anyone, but sometimes people keep coming back and back for the same thing over and over. And it's slowly but surely, it may be small things, but those small things can impact you financially. So it's important that you know when to say no, or to advise them of your standard fee for those services. Maybe you throw in a little discount, maybe you don't. It depends on, what you feel, but you have to take control. If not, takers will take with no regard. So you must take care of yourself. That's, your priority. You are your priority. Take care of yourself and make certain that you're looking at how certain requests may affect you financially. So you want to take a look at those things and determine whether it's in your best interest to take on these personal favors or requests. So I'll tell you, as an attorney and a financial professional, I get a lot of requests from people that know what the service costs, and they just don't want to pay anything for it. They feel as though they're your family, they're your friend, and you should be willing to do this, with no charge. And sometimes it's fine. For some small things, it's fine. But when you know that it's a complicated matter and it's going to take up a lot of your time, taking you away from maybe financially benefiting in other ways, other projects that, that pay you, it may not be a good idea. So you may want to say to them, look, this is the standard cost for this type of service, but I'm willing to do it for X amount, and see what they say. Some won't like it. Some will talk about you and say negative things about you, but don't let that bother you, because you have to prioritize yourself and make certain that you are making smart decisions and investing your time wisely. Yes, time is money, and we have to keep that, at the forefront, that we recognize that how we use our time, impacts us financially. I used to get annoyed when people would ask me for favors, knowing that there's a significant cost related to those services and so forth, and they wouldn't offer anything, or some would offer something that barely covers the cost of the service, not being reasonable at all, just really caring about themselves. And it's not because they didn't have it, to pay for the service. They just didn't want to, because they felt like they knew someone that does this, or that they could just utilize those services and get it for free. They're protecting their own interests. So while they're protecting your own interests, they're impacting your financial interests. So does that make sense? No. So I had to make a decision in saying that I have to take control of my finances and how my time is spent. Yes, I do, I am charitable. And in some instances, if someone needs something and, needs a service and they can't do it or they can't afford it, yes, there are many instances whereas I will just step in and say, hey, don't worry about the cost. But let me say that. I don't want someone else deciding, hey, I don't have to pay her, or I'm going to pay her just a little bit, even though I know, what the actual market value is for that service, or the fair market value is for that service. So you have to choose you and be careful with how you spend your time, and whether you and not allowing others to impact you financially, because people will do as much as you allow them to. So take control of your time, your finances, and prioritize yourself. So thank you for joining me again. And if you like this video, you like this content, please like, share, subscribe, and come back for more videos about everyday life and finance. Thank you.